Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Rangers Review morning briefing. It is Wednesday, the 14th of January. I'm Derek Clark, and I'm joined this morning by Stevie Clifford. How goes it, Stevie?
Yeah, mate, I'm very good. Excellent news brought to us by Chris this morning. Sent us a wee text message just 15 minutes ago. So yeah, it's geez, Derek, I'm smiling. Like, what's happening to us, this club? So a lot to discuss this morning. Haven't been on in a few weeks, so it's been good. Plenty to chew over, that's for sure.
Yep, you and many others waking up with a smile on your face because Rangers are doing things in the transfer window. And we'll discuss Skov Olsen in a minute. Before we do, a quick word for our podcast sponsors, Willow's Fencing, the Glasgow-based fencing company you can trust and proud partners of the Rangers Review. They've got over 20 years of experience in the fencing trade. No job is too big or too small for these guys. They offer free consultations and 10% off with the code Rangers Review over on their website, which is willows-fencing.com. The all-important details are in the description below this video. And remember, folks, we've got an offer on the website just now, £4 for 4 months. Head over to rangersreview.co.uk/subscribe to sign up. You'll find stories like the one Chris has just put on this morning. Rangers are advancing in their move for Andreas Skov Olsen from Wolfsburg. Rangers have reached an agreement with the German side on a loan deal until the end of the season, and Skov Olsen, as we reported yesterday, agreed at personal terms. And we discussed yesterday that a loan-to-buy deal was on the table as talks continued. It's now understood that the deal has now been agreed, which will allow Rangers to retain the 26-year-old beyond the end of the campaign, should they take up that option. Now, Wolfsburg will take up a loss on the £12 million fee that they paid Club Brugge for the Dane last summer. He's now poised to move to Glasgow to finalise his move. He'll undergo a medical today before putting pen to paper and becoming the latest signing for Rangers in this window. And a winger, right-hand side, Rangers needed someone out there. Stevie, quite happy with the prospect of this lad turning up. He's a boy that's been linked with Rangers for a number of years now, but it finally looks like it's going to come to.
Yeah, football manager legend, Derek. That's first things first. Everybody that plays and watches will absolutely know that. But for us, I mean, it's a statement signing, I think. It's one of those ones where you thought, you know, what we could. Do you know what's funny, Derek? Actually, you know, Tuchel Chukwueze arrived for £4.5 million, and everybody's just like, well, it's standard. And we've kind of glossed over the fact that we paid £4.5 million for somebody, and now we've got an exciting winger coming in the door, potentially a left back joining them at some point. Also, it's good business for Rangers, really good business. They're tackling the positions we thought they should have strengthened. And Olsen is different, I think. I try not to get too carried away, but he's a potential game changer for us. We need creation, we need goal scorers, we need a threat. And you look around the team and you hope that somebody like that coming in is just going to lift others. Can it then, you know, teams have suddenly got him to worry about, they've suddenly got Gassama to worry about and stuff like that. So do you know what I like, Derek, as well, is when the boys put up, you know, like the likes of Kai and stuff on social media, when they put up all the wee graphs and stuff like that. Well, they put up the ones of Skov Olsen and it's just full. The whole thing is just full, and it's all really good numbers, and you know, his stats are out of this world. He had an incredible season in Bruges. I think he scored 18 goals last year to get his big move to Wolfsburg, which hasn't really worked out. But you know, the last guy we got from Wolfsburg wasn't too bad. So Skov Olsen just comes in and he's got all the credentials to be exciting. And the best thing about it, Derek, is that I don't think he's the last one. I don't think this is where Rangers stop. I don't think it's a case of getting Rommens and getting Skov Olsen and just go, well, that's us, we're happy. I think Rangers are going to, you know, roll the dice further and get some more attacking options in as well. So it's a really exciting time. And yeah, I mean, I'm almost pinching myself. there's a little bit of me because we've managed to get ourselves back in a favourable position in the league through some outstanding results. Yeah, we've got some really big games coming up, but you get the right people in January, Derek, then all of a sudden Rangers are very much in the discussion, that's for sure. And I quite like it that we're getting played down. We're not really getting talked about. I quite like that. Just let Rangers get on with their business one game at a time. But if you're signing guys like this, then yeah, I think people are going to start looking in their rear view mirrors and seeing Rangers and thinking, they're not the joke that they were at the start of the season, that's for sure.
Yep, I believe that the loan fee in the 7 figures, and then of course we're trying to figure out if Rangers exercise that option at the end, how much that would be. But it would be a significant fee. Boys,
do you know what Andrew Kavanagh calls that?
Fun
coupons, Derek. Just keep giving them out, man. No problem to him.
Yeah. Do you think, I mean, it's a statement of intent. Of course, we know that the prize at stake at the end of the season, Stevie, it looks like he's looked at that and going, right, let's have a right proper go here, because Danny Rule, I think, deservedly has earned the backing. Said that when he came in and they replaced Russell Martin, he came into a real shell of a squad that was devoid of confidence, and he's picked them up and he's got them into a really good position at this point in time. So I think he's deserving of a bit of quality coming in. It's a real statement of intent, you could say.
Yeah, absolutely is. It absolutely is. It's, look, see, when we came into this window, we all hoped for something, didn't we? We all hoped for that little bit of quality.
Yeah.
And, quality to me is getting 3-4 guys in at £4 million. And so Chukwueze, when he came in, I was surprised by the reaction to it, because I genuinely thought that it was so under the radar from a lot of the fans. Were just like, right, okay, who's next? We've got a left back coming in for the best part of £3 million as well, and it's become kind of standard. There was a time ago, Derek, where Rangers weren't spending that money at all, and now we've just got a guy in the door, or is coming in the door, hopefully, that you're looking at millions of pounds on a loan deal, high wages, and potentially going to sign him for £10 million in the summer. Yeah. And I just think we're now operating in a different world. And in respect to Danny Rule, he absolutely deserves the backing, Derek. It's up to the club then. He can only say what he needs. It's up to the club then to kind of provide it and get the targets that he wants.
Yeah.
Skov Olsen's been somebody that's been on the radar for us for a very long time, way back to Steven Gerrard, I think, back in 2021-22 time. And we missed out on him then. So it's one of the ones you just kind of considered we'd lost, we'd missed the boat on. But to get him in now and to add Steele in other positions, because let's be honest, the boy Rommens, the talk about him is he's very good. Chukwueze, add that pace and the power in midfield. These are things that we need. If you can start knitting this all together, and then Raskin, Diamande, Gassama, dare I say it, Chermati up front, Miovski, can we get these guys firing properly? Because they're starting to show signs of life, Derek, and I think that's totally fair. So even defensively, clean sheets everywhere. Big Manny Fernandez has his moments, but he's really playing out his skin. There's lots of quality. I'll rephrase that slightly. There's lots of things to be positive about at this moment. I don't want to say quality throughout or start getting too far ahead of myself, because I think there does need to be a degree of calmness. Olsen coming in doesn't mean we're suddenly going to win leagues and stuff like that. Nothing is guaranteed. But in Danny Rule, what's guaranteed is we have a manager that knows what he's doing, who can coach, who can organise and get the best out of what he's got. If you start giving him quality, then the assumption and the hope is that we're only going to keep continuing to improve and stuff like that. So I'm with you. He does deserve it. He does deserve that backing. And what he's going to do with it is really interesting. I've got every faith in him. But having genuinely quality in that side is going to help the others that are in it also. And trying to remain grounded, Derek. But this is a big signing. It's a very, very big signing. It's an exciting signing. It's a guy that you hope can be a match winner. It's a guy that you hope is going to give you numbers. And see if he is what we think he is. It's going to help everybody else, because teams are going to go and put 2 on him So is there going to be space for Gassama? Is there going to be space for Raskin and Diamandi? Can we get Asgard into the right positions if Asgard suddenly got help around him? Because he's started to pop up with a few important goals, but he's not really in the positions, Derek. He's clearly a good player. Can other quality around him help him? Can Chermiti, start to bang in goals because he's started to hold the ball up and stuff like that? And, not everybody is accommodating as Austin Trusty, so he does need to keep hitting the net. But, there's lots of little moving parts to when you get players in quality is can they help the others around them? And I've got to be honest and say that you sign quality like Skov Olsen, then it is going to help. And it's just exciting. It's exciting, mate, to see it all come together. And by the way, this is on a backdrop of the real excitement is this is on the backdrop of a Rangers team who are now very much in a title race, who were out of it. And we all discounted them. It wasn't too long ago I was saying, laughing and saying, well, we need 12 to 15 players in January. And now you're looking at it and saying, what a job he's done. The results have been really good. Now we're back in a race. Let's kick on. So the players and Danny Rule deserve all the credit in the world for putting that consistency together. 18 points out of 21 in that run is quite phenomenal. So now it's a case of not rolling the dice as such, but let's help Danny where we can and see what we can do. But it's exciting, Derek. Normally when we're doing this sort of thing, it's on the backdrop of we're throwing money to try and fix stuff, to try and we're not really in a race. We're 12 points behind or whatever, so it's like a statement signing or whatever to try and do things that were maybe not possible. We're right in this now, and they're actually doing it to give Danny Rule the best possible chance, and I think that's exciting, and we've not had that in a long time.
Yep, lots of points coming in. I don't mean to pop the optimistic balloon, but Simple Simon had a pie. He says that Olsen has had knocks, and we brought in probably in spells to get his match fitness up. Yeah, he has had injuries at Wolfsburg. He's played 8 Bundesliga games. Well, he's featured in 8 matches. Scored 1 league goal. He featured in a German Cup game, a couple of German Cup games, I think. Scored 1 goal as well. He's not had the best of seasons, it's fair to say. If he can have any sort of impact as Václav Černý had last season, then I think he'll do Rangers a ton. I'm excited to see. It's an area of the pitch that I don't think Rangers have properly sort of addressed it last season with the Černý, of course, but besides that, it's been a problem area. So, and I would like to see Gassama playing on his more favourable left-hand side as opposed to the right as well. Hopefully that will free him up to play out there. But it might not be a case of just chucking him in and expecting him to turn games and change games immediately, Stevie.
No, absolutely. He'll get 10 minutes the same as everybody else, Derek. 7.5 actually because of the money we brought him in. And if he's not scored a hat-trick, then we will rubbish him. Listen, he'll obviously get time, and he comes with the caveat, doesn't he, of he's getting his match fitness up and everything else. But this is quality, Derek, and quality will shine through straight away. So, yes, let's be careful with our expectations and everything else. But it goes around to what I was saying before. All of a sudden, Gassama and Moore can play on the left, and they can dovetail. Then you've got Olsen being able to play on the right, and so can Antman. At some point, we've got to try and get something out of Oliver Antman. He hasn't suddenly become a really bad player. Maybe.
What does this mean for him, Stevie?
Well, it means for him that he becomes a rotational option, probably the same way as Moore and Gassama are. But if you get options, Derek, because Antman's still dangerous, he's still got pace, he's still capable of providing assists and scoring goals. We just haven't seen that yet. And it's only been really sporadically. But remember, he's not had a lot of time under Danny Rule either. So it took Moore a while before he kind of started under Danny Rule. It's took Chermiti a while. It's took Manny Fernandez a while and stuff. Players take time. So I don't think we're in any position to suddenly write off Oliver Antman or any of them. I said it before that they, on current viewing with certain ones, it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
But, Chermiti up until 4 or 5 games ago, we were getting holy moly, guacamole, etc. And it was all worth, it was all, what's the word I'm looking for? Correct, kind of on what we were saying. Now all of a sudden he's holding the ball up, and when he goes off, you're going, oh, we don't have Chermiti anymore. Yeah. And you notice a difference in it. And things can change that quickly. All it would take is Oliver Antman to play on Friday night, score a couple of goals, his confidence gets up, and then all of a sudden he's in the discussion. And if you get Olsen playing 60, 70 minutes of hopefully terrorising a fullback, and then Oliver Antman coming on against a tired fullback and defences that are, beginning to creak because of what's happened before them, then he'll get joy as well. So, listen, we've got options, finally. Really good options in there that we can use. Mikey Moore, Gassama can swap about. Olsen, Antman, and then, these guys can drift into 10s and things as well. But it's about getting numbers on the board as well. They threaten to be good players. Let's start getting the assists. Let's start getting the moments. I do want to see Gassama on the left. I'm the same as you. I think Patodri, that moment where he won the penalty kick, Stonewall penalty kick, may I add, that's the type of runs that I want to see Gassama doing. So there's plenty there, Derek, to... I think the problem is, or the worry, or whatever you want to say it is, we've been saying this all season, and Olsen, I think, adds that quality. So can they start getting those numbers? Can they start looking like the dangerous threat in the final third we need them to be? Because they are creating, right? They are doing that, and they are dangerous set pieces. See if we could become a real
open
threat.
Play, there needs to be more,
from open play, that's what we're saying. Yeah. If we can do that, Derek, then we're right in this. So, and I still think they'll add somebody else as well up there, a real threat, a real goal threat. If they can do that, then this has been a good window for us, and it's about kicking on, because all of a sudden you go into games in February. I think we're away to Hibs, we're away to Motherwell, we have Hearts, and Celtic's not too far around the corner either. So these are all big games coming back round again. So it's all there for Rangers. So if we can get this together, and I think Skov Olsen's a real indicator of us saying, yeah, we're here. This is Rangers, we're here, and we'll quietly go about our business. And if you're not counting on us, then that's absolutely fine, because we'll be in amongst it. So I'm all for this, Derek. Trying to keep grounded.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it absolutely is. Bear in mind, when Danny Rule took over, we were 8th and won one game, drawn 6 and lost 1. And we were all well out of it, and we were saying just get wins. He's done remarkably well. Yeah. Now he's getting given the tools to really take us on, and that excites me.
Yeah, let's get to a few points coming in. This from Rangers. Rangers Yoke 9891, great username. It says, any update on Rommens, gents? Still expected to be announced imminently, or has there been an issue? Yeah, we're still just waiting on the announcement from Rangers on that front. So that will be another signing coming in at left back, and I would want to see both him and Chukwani in the starting 11 on Friday night. Stevie, would you go along with that?
Yeah, him, Olsen, whoever else you can get in the door. Listen, I think Rangers do this, and there's no rhyme or reason to why they do it when a guy's maybe had, signed the deal, got all the stuff done he needs to be done, and then we wait 3 days, and nobody really understands why they do it. I'm not expecting any disasters there. No. You never know until you see the scarf picture.
Yep.
You never really know, Derek. But he, again, somebody that speaks, that somebody that's spoken to very highly. I think I've got a note here of him somewhere. Yeah, I do. As Shirai said, he's perfect for Rangers. Physically strong player who gives his all, doesn't shy away from challenges, likes to go down the wing at all times. The fans will love him, and I expect they'll come up with a song for him. It's a perfect match. No songs, please. Every time we give a player a song, like he struggles. So let's wait and let him earn his song. But he's somebody, again, that's going to come in under the radar. If he can add that kind of quality to the left-hand side. And by the way, young Jaden McComb has done really well.
Just on that, Stevie, I wanted to bring this point up from you, and he says, Derek, Stevie, thoughts on Jaden Magoma? I'd be looking to keep him at 19 years old and being a steady player for us this season. Bearing in mind, Brentford splashed out 10 million quid for this lad, but he has been pretty decent, hasn't he? Would you be hoping to maybe thrash out a deal for him?
I don't think we can. £10 million is loose change these days for the famous, but I'm not sure, Derek, that we would keep him. Would we go back in for Penrice in the summer? Interested, I think maybe, because we do need a Scottish balance in there also. So we will go and sign a left back, Derek. Jaden McComb has done really well. There was times this season, especially earlier on under Russell Martin and stuff like that, he looked lost, but he has been coached, and that's key. And I think when you look at Suter, Fernandez, and the back line and stuff, they do look coached and they look out of possession. They know when to press and stuff like that. I'm not interested in being harsh on people that were here before and stuff like that, but the differences are obvious. Yeah. So Jadon McHoma, one that to me, he's been a very steady 6, 7 out of 10 every week, and that's what you need. These are the guys that you need in a match, in a team that's going to win games. He wasn't overawed at Parkhead, scooshed it up at Pittodrie, as did others, and he's been very, very good. So, listen, nothing but praise for him, because I'll be honest with you, I'd pretty much written him off earlier on in the season. He shouldn't be playing for Rangers, isn't ready yet, and he's came tenacity and he's done really well. As I said, he's not been outstanding, but he's been steadily average, which you need guys in every winning side that is a 6, 7 out of 10 every single week, dependable, and he's been that. So good on him. I am looking for a wee bit more out of Rommens going forward and stuff like that, putting in crosses, driving in. All of a sudden, you can add these threats and stuff, Derek, and we become a different kind of animal. So Jadon McHoma, would you keep him? Yes, is the answer. But is it possible? I'm not sure it is. Will we look elsewhere? Potentially, I think so. But he's done himself no harm at all, and he'll learned a lot in his development and stuff. He'll be a very good player in the future, Jadon McHoma, and you can see why Bournemouth have got him, and he will do very well from this loan and the experience and stuff he's had here.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how his career pans out, incidentally, whether it sort of he goes on, pushes on, becomes a permanent fixture in that Brentford defence. Who knows? But yeah,
Brentford. Sorry, I said Bournemouth, didn't I? I beg your pardon.
Yeah, but yeah, just talking about Bournemouth. Max Aarons, would you be keeping him next season?
Oh, defensive masterclass, Max. Powerful, marauding fullback.
Yeah, to be attracting some attention from clubs, some top clubs in Europe, incidentally. I'm not too sure how true that is.
It's because he's a good player. Is he suited to Scottish football and Rangers? I'm not sure. Or is he, excuse me, living off of past potential? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Here's the issue. If Max Aarons left, we'd probably have to bring somebody in. Dujon Sterling is yet to prove that he's dependable enough. A brilliant player, absolutely fantastic quality. Yep. And then there's just Tav. So who else do you play at right back? Because even if you're looking at the likes of Barron and stuff, he's going to be out for 3 months as well, so he can't cover in there. So no, Max Aarons is a tricky one. If you're letting Max Aarons go, you're ultimately bringing somebody else in. So who would that be? And I think that's only because of the situation with Sterling. If Sterling was fit and playing robustly, then I would say Max Aarons can go. So it's a tricky one, Derek. Yeah. It is a tricky one. Max Aarons is what he is. I don't think he suits Rangers. I don't think he suits our game. I think he dips his toe in too much into challenges and stuff, which I don't really like. But, do I want to keep him beyond this season's loan? Absolutely not. Do I want to keep him at the moment? I think potentially we might have to, because I'm not aware of anybody else that could come in to help Tav. And if, God forbid, Tav get injured and then we're completely struggling at right back, who plays? So we just need to watch what we're doing. We need to be careful with that situation. If there was a viable swap or somebody else to bring in, then I wouldn't shed too many tears if Max Aarons moved on.
Yep. Point coming in from Aaron. Address this says, highlight any truth in the Hungarian winger rumours. This is Damir Redzic. He plays for a team in Slovakia. He's on a list, is what I'm told. So it remains to be seen if Skov Olsen comes in, whether they look to explore this one further and bring him in as well. Again, that sort of winger type, 22 years of age. I think he's one Hungarian cap, if I'm not mistaken. Don't know too much about him. Any good in Football Manager, Stevie?
Well, what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to delve into my messages here, because Kai messaged me, Kai Watson, who's very good for all this kind of scouting stuff. He says to me, left-footed, played in the right, 7 goals, 1 assist in 14. These goals are from an XG of 2.94, so he's scoring from low-quality chances. His goal catalogue is unbelievable. Quick, great ball carrier, brilliant balance with a thunderous left foot. Really good shooting from range. So that is his kind of scouting report on him. I don't know a lot about him in the slightest because, yeah, that's really what he said about him. What he said about Skov Olsen's interesting. He says technically incredibly gifted, great experience, scored 8 goals with 4 assists in 19 before moving to Wolfsburg last January. Very good on the ball, great chance creator, really intelligent, attacking position and runs, good finisher inside the box too. 20% conversion rate at Bruges before leaving. That's class for a winger, apparently. Also scored 14 goals with 4 assists in 33 the season before. So all of that, Derek, is quite positive. As you will well know, I'm not a statty. I don't understand these graphs and what they do. I know that the fuller they are, the better they are and stuff like that. But I asked Kai to give me it in simple form for a simple person. So that's what he said. But look, the numbers... What's that, mate?
Stats for dummies.
Aye, absolutely. I don't mind saying that either. Regic is a good player by all accounts. Really low XG for the amount of goals he scored and stuff. Somebody who can shoot from distance would be very welcome. Very welcome, because when you look at it, Jerry can hit some shots, yeah. Nobody really on the right can. None of our strikers can. Like, all of their shot power is like 2. And I don't understand why. So there's not really much threat. Raskin doesn't really tend to shoot from distance, neither does Diamandi, but at times they have taken decent opportunities, against Hibs, was it? Aberdeen? Aberdeen, sorry, I beg your pardon, Aberdeen. Yeah. So we need somebody that can vary things and take shots from distance, and it also helps us if you're playing a low block defence. Could somebody just line one up? And Czerny was really good at that last season. So, listen, Derek, I think Olsen isn't going to be the only one we bring in. That's the exciting thing about this. Yeah. Olsen is going to be one of 2, potentially more, that we go and try and bring in. I think there's a real desire to strengthen this forward line, to bring in some real quality. Olsen's the first indicator of that. Hopefully that happens, because it's never done until it's done. But, if you can get a couple more in there, all of a sudden it becomes really, really interesting for Rangers. They do need creation and goals. It's absolutely vital.
Yeah. King Charles Spaniel says, any news on who's leaving? Well, the Oscar Cortes deal went through yesterday, so he has departed for a Huracan over in Argentina. It's a loan with an option to buy, and a significant sell-on that Rangers have on that front as they try and recoup as much as what they paid loans for him. Just a disastrous signing all round, and I think they've done well to actually move him on a permanent basis. Ideally, if that loan, if the option is taken up, wish him well over there. Just never worked, not only at Lawns, Rangers, or indeed Sporting Gijón, where he was currently on loan. So hopefully he can go over there and revive his career. Other than that, Finlay Curtis, of course, talks ongoing with Kilmarnock. They're looking to bring him in on loan. Nothing definitive on Clinton Enciala. I've seen reports that he could be headed for Motherwell, although talks expected on that front. Would not be surprised if he heads out on loan, Stevie. Just think there was a comment came in about some others, fringe players, the likes of Dowell, Matondo, Rothwell. Fully expect Dowell to head back down south. And the other 2, I'd be surprised if they're still Rangers players come the end of the window. Would you be?
It's quite funny because Joe Rothwell at some point will leave. And I think we'll get to about March and Danny Rule will go, where is that guy? Who was that guy in midfield that used to be? Where is he? And they'll all go, Joe? I don't know. I've not seen him in months. So I'm really hoping it's not going to be like that and he does get a move. The thing is, though, Derek, right, and where people need to be kind of realise a wee bit with this is that Rabbi Matondo, Kieran Dowell, Joe Rothwell are all on big money. Teams will leave it as late as they can in January to try and get them, because then it saves them 100 grand on wages, because that's the kind of money these guys are getting, 20, 30 grand. So you save yourself a month worth of that. If it's not urgent and it's not, they'll move towards the end of the window. Rabbi Matondo's got no future at Rangers. He'll leave. His contract's up at the end of the season anyway. The same with Kieran Dowell. When your manager's bringing on, and the midfielder's going off and Connor Barron, and he's bringing on Danilo and stuff like that, Kieran Dowell it's quite obvious he's not going to be there. Joe Rothwell's going to leave too. So these are deals that will go through. I should imagine that Nadeem Bayrami, maybe Danny, up top, these boys they'll move towards the end of the window. So it's certainly a potential there for some moves, maybe on loan and things like that. So I expect the outgoings will come towards the end of the window. Finlay Carter's going to Killy's a really good move. Neil McCann will look after him, and it's good time for Finlay. Good game time down there. So Nsiala, if he was to go to Motherwell again, good time for game time for him down there as well, Derek. So we just need to wait and see. With outgoings, I'm not as stressed as others might be. It's more important for me we get these 4 or 5 in. And then once that happens, teams will move towards the end of the window and stuff like that. So we just need to be patient with that one, I would think.
Yeah. We'll wrap up with this. Love this. Billy gets in touch. He says, Stevie, I had a dream last night that you, me, and Davy Edgar went for an Indian and I had to pay the bill. Thanks for that. So there you go. Appearing in Billy's dream last night, Stevie. Are you a fan of Indians?
Absolutely not, Derek. I do not like an Indian. So the only thing that was true with that, Billy, would be that I definitely wouldn't have paid. So, take me for a Chinese, mate, and you can pay for that as well, and I'll be quite happy. But, popping up in people's dreams and nightmares. All that kind of thing, Derek.
What's your Chinese order of choice, Stevie?
Salt and chili, chicken, rice, and fries drenched in curry sauce. But it's been a long time since I had a curry, Derek. You know me, watching the old waistline. So trying to make sure that I don't return to 17, 18 stone again. So, a Chinese would be nice. Thanks for putting that in my mind.
Yeah. I'm an Indian man, I've got to say. I do like a tandoori chicken and all the works, poppadoms, you name it. But there you go. Do let us know.
Last time I was in an Indian was Mr. Singh's, and it was very, very nice.
I don't think I've ever been there, you know that? I don't think I've ever been. I need to make an effort to go up next time I'm up in Glasgow.
I think it's probably the best I've had, but I'm not a huge fan of Indian cuisine. As I said, I like Chinese. Chinese is where I'm at. So yeah.
There you go. Do let us know in the comments, folks. What is your favourite restaurant to frequent, or your favourite?
If anybody does want to take me out for dinner and pay for that kind of thing, I'm more than happy. So I'm not choosy.
Yep.
Canada Vindaloo though, no chance.
No. Even I'd draw the line at that. No, absolutely no way. Actually, I had remember when Pot Noodles brought out the Bombay Bad Boy back in the day? I had one of those, and that put me off completely. Pot Noodles. There's a blast from the past. When was the last time you had a Pot Noodle, Stevie?
A long time ago, but I am fond of a wee Pot Noodle every now and then.
Yeah,
but not lately. Not lately.
I do miss the old Pot Noodles as
well.
How
do we get onto these conversations?
we do digress. It's due to Billy having that dream about you and Davey in an Indian, which seems a bit weird. So we'll swiftly move on from that. Big thank you to Stevie, as ever, for joining us on the show. You're back with Chris this weekend, Stevie, if I'm not mistaken. You're doing the talking point. Can you give us an idea of what you will be discussing? I'd imagine transfers will be on there.
Transfers, signings, and the fact that we're going to win the league.
Yeah, there you go.
That's basically it.
All the reason to tune in then. Absolutely fantastic. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that, folks. Big thank you to you all for tuning into the show. Those of you that Rangers Review Extra members will look to record our Q&A show today, and we'll aim to record that at around 1 p.m. So as ever, I'll pop the link into the community page on YouTube. Get your questions in, folks, and we'll get through as many as we possibly can. If I don't speak to you, then enjoy your Wednesday, whatever you are up to, and we'll chat again soon. Bye for now.